A little known secret is that music that we play, which you may or may not hear, was actually made by Tansen about 400-500 years ago, and it's been kept and preserved. And now we have sort of orchestrated it thanks to Rishi, who is a direct descendant of Tansen, though he doesn't keep the name. Rishi is our engineer. You'll see him at some point in one of the podcasts. We don't have time today because we may have a sponsor, and they said only three faces. And those three important faces, other than mine, of course, are going to be on the panel in a second. But before we do, I want to just quickly mention that people call me Kanjus and a miser, and I was thinking, it's not that. I don't even like spending money on myself. I don't want to spend money on others. And yes, I do like it when other people spend money on me. But this is the same for most of humanity. Ask yourself honestly, do you really, really not like it when somebody spends money on you? Or do you really enjoy spending money on somebody else? Or do you really enjoy spending money on yourself? I mean, come on. So I think this is very natural and normal. And this Kanjus word is just thrown about unnecessarily. It's like the word superstar. We make people superstars too quickly. Superstars should be once in a generation. India should have not more than 2 superstars per 50 years. I'll come to that with the panel because they have expert views. These are not idiots from the road that we pick up. These are experts. Absolutely sophisticated thought processes that these three people have is second to none. And thank God for that. Let's call on young Abijit, who's... oh, by the way, panel, before we start, Silverie, you know this. We just found out.
Yes.
Both the panelists that we've invited here today, our esteemed panelists, Abijit Ganguly and Navin Noronha, both are badly injured. Guys,
Yeah, recent injuries.
Ukraine has suffered casualties, deaths. I mean, people are in severe depression and economic wastage happening there. People are finished mentally and physically and financially. But don't forget, it's also bad in India because these two people, Abhijit got injured playing football, which is a dangerous sport, and Naveen got injured walking up the steps, which I feel sometimes even more dangerous.
Even
Yeah.
way more dangerous.
India, Ukraine. We suffer enough here in India, bro. We suffer enough.
Don't forget about us.
Yes, do not. And bro, Abhijit, can you show the hand? Because I want to make sure that we're not lying. It'll be tough to show
Oh,
the
shit.
injury, but
Swollen as well if you compare it to the other hand. Like, yeah, I just somebody tackled me from behind and I just like fell on
okay,
the
now
hand
you
itself.
started on a very sexual note, and Naveen will take over from there. But we're going to
I
get
was
some.
going to go, but then I stopped.
I mean,
I stopped
we're going to get
myself.
we're going to get messages.
Way too
left,
early in this
right.
podcast to say a fisting joke, so I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, the man is showing his fist, which is swollen. I'm saying, how will he get away on this podcast? The cheapness glorified here. Yeah.
It's looking like a claw right now. Like I can't like touch my
it's a crab.
Yeah, it's
For those
weird.
for those who think this is just
Trigger
audio,
warning.
let me tell you, you're safe. It's a very horrendous sight. Abhijit's hand is really swollen up. So, but what exactly happened? You fell on your hand.
Yeah, so basically, I'm trying to not use the words from behind anymore. But somebody tackled, and I kind of fell on my hand only. So yeah,
Oh, man.
that's why. So this like wrist pain, then
Abhijit,
like
Abhijit,
the
So
fingers and
Abhijit.
all
it's
everything.
sprained or fractured, you know.
Kale,
I
Kale.
X-rayed myself yesterday, but I mean, and the X-ray is given. But these days, a lot of people have had similar injuries where X-ray don't reveal anything, and after that, you have to get an MRI done. उससे पता चलता है तो कपड़े ही फट गए.
It's also
So,
part of the
Exactly, yeah.
scam where basically you have to do 3 X-rays to find the actual depth of the injury.
Yeah.
That means they make money
Yeah.
3 times, and you feel
Yeah.
happy, and then sad. It's a bit like
Yeah.
education. But
Yeah.
Abhijit, just very quickly, it's football, not handball. In future, I don't want to be a smart aleck, but try and focus more on using the foot. We Indians
Yeah, but
use a hand.
no, but it was okay. I don't know how to, but yeah,
No,
I fell down
the
and
double entendre is going to happen.
the
Polo.
fell down and
Yeah.
fell on my hand.
But in American
But it-
football, they go like really crazy. Like this was like a normal tackle, which was not intended probably. But
Dude, they
in
have brain
American football,
injuries.
they are meant to tackle.
Yeah.
They have spines in one part of the field and like the rest of the body in the rest. So and this happened to my partner as well, not in the field, but like at
Is it a
Ahmedabad
sex
station.
story?
Oh, I thought,
If it's a
yeah,
sex
I thought
story,
it was
listen,
a sex
you
story.
have to give a disclaimer.
No, it's not a sex story. He was so I get a call. I'm sleeping at home, and he's coming back from Gujarat, and I get a call that hey, can you please come to the station to pick me up? And I usually don't go to pick anybody up. I'm like, find your own way home. But my partner's like, my leg is really hurting. I'm like, yeah, whatever, as if. And then he's like, no, it's really hurting. So I go there, and I see it's really hurting because it's swollen. It's become double the size. You know, much like Abhijit's hand.
He's got
like, it was
3
like-
legs.
Yeah, he's got 3 legs at this point, and I'm very worried about it. And then we take him to Holy Family. Same thing, you know. We spend 2 hours over there, X-ray, आगे पीछे ये वो ऐसा. And then doctor's like, नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. And he's like, I can't stand on my feet, you know. I'm taking him in a wheelchair everywhere first of all. And he's like, मेरे को नहीं हो रहा है खड़े होने को. He's like, लेकिन कुछ है ही नहीं, दिख रहा ही नहीं. अगर बाद में होगा तो MRI कर लेंगे. So like we spent 5,000 at the hospital. and now we have to spend 5,000 more to get an MRI just in case. So like that's
A
what
friend
it
of
is
mine,
now.
he broke his ribs and the doctors did not say anything. Like while playing football only, again he fell on his hand only. So I guess it's a very
Yeah.
common pattern of injury. But yeah,
Or
and
in
he
your
broke his
club,
ribs.
your group, for some reason, the technique is such that you all land on your hand.
So
There
this
must be
guy did
some
not
reason.
why not while playing with us, but he plays football regularly. So with some other bunch, so he again fell on his hand and broke his ribs. So apparently it seems like a common
I
format.
once,
But yeah,
I
just
wa-
a second, Naveen. You're saying about American football, and then you said your friend was coming from Gujarat, so he was playing American football in Gujarat.
No, I had to tell both the stories at the same time. So I
He
Okay,
wanted
finally
to
and
show
for
his
a
knowledge
second, I
of
was like,
sport,
this is
yaar.
yeah, yeah.
what is
Naveen was
going
just
on in
showing.
this?
Yeah.
Naveen is all about athletics. And
No,
wait, now
because
the
I want
great sportsman wants to talk. Follow
yeah,
Silverie.
yeah.
Yeah,
Go
no,
on.
I once jumped from the first floor of a building and sprained my leg.
To impress a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
no, just
Okay.
I see my mom called me home and I'm like, who'll walk down the stairs, man? Just jump. It's a very dumb
Yeah.
decision.
This guy
But
may
I
have the
did
Are you
it.
same
sure you're
thing.
not
Yeah.
competing with somebody to get somewhere before anybody and took that as a shortcut?
Yeah, let's say that. I think that was it. Yes,
1 minute.
correct.
You are showing
I was
pictures
literally,
of
I was literally
Faridabad
alone.
and making fun of a whole city and a town about people dangling and doing exercises from a balcony when you are a pioneer who invented this
Yeah.
whole form.
Dude,
Making these life choices.
I was what, 5 years old or something,
So
man.
that kid we
And
showed
so
was
even
8.
dumber
He was
actually.
used as a pole going up and down. You remember?
Yeah, and
What
yeah,
the hell?
correct. And then I didn't want to tell my mom that's what I did. That's how I got the injury. So as active as I wasn't injured, and I was using I had a cricket bat in my hand, remember, and I was using the cricket bat as a walking stick.
Crutch.
Even at home, I would like use it even
Antariksh,
at
you
home.
jumped from the
Is this
first
why
floor
you
when you're
don't like
5 years
sports?
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
just I
Five
do.
years old, but you jumped from the first floor.
yeah, and just sprained a
Boss,
leg.
uska hi
And I
kahani
think
hai na.
Don't
We
do
can't
this at
poke
home,
holes
guys.
into it.
Kids are more
Man,
malleable,
Now
I
that
hey,
guess,
Abhijit
right?
has
do
pointed
not
it
tell
out, it
this.
sounds so fake. You're absolutely right. That a 5-year-old is running around. Unless
Yeah.
you're a
I
5-year-old
can get
German
it like
Shepherd or
11,
Cornish
12, you
Spaniel.
making a stupid error or something. 5 years old
Yeah.
is.
So no, it was so once
Silvery, you are
so
lying,
it
is what
was
we are saying.
it was a house in Delhi. It was in Delhi, okay, and you can like climb the stairs.
That doesn't
Closer,
justify
And
any
closer to
story.
Faridabad.
Anything
no,
it
no,
Closer
gets
to
and you
crazy.
Faridabad.
can. It's not from the window or something like that. It's from the
The
landing
parapet.
because you
The
can
parapet.
no the landing off the floor. Basically, once you climb the staircase, you can those
Yeah,
building staircase. You can see down
like a
from the
midway
staircase.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, so just jump from the first floor staircase all to the ground floor.
Man,
Fun,
I ain't
guys. Fun.
believing that you did
Good
this when
stories.
you're 5 because then it
I
can
was
be
in like
called
first
like
standard. How old are you when you were first standard?
6 years old.
Okay, I was 6. Sorry, guys.
When I was 5, I fell
Mistake,
backwards at a
mistake.
bus stop and had a
I've put
stone
it down.
lodged
I've
into my
marked
head.
it for sure to check
Okay.
later about this
Okay,
5-year-old.
yes.
Can he jump from
this is
12
a
to
made
15
up
feet and
story.
survive? It's
This
just
is
an
a
Let's
made up
figure
aberration.
this
story.
out,
It
guys.
sounds very fake.
There's one way to
Yeah.
find out.
You're the
Throw a
size of a
5-year-old
box
from
like
a
this, a
balcony.
cup, and then you jump
It's
out and
okay,
then
guys.
nothing
If
happens.
Antariksh was feeling
Yeah.
left out, he wants to be a part of the injury gang.
Yeah, man.
Let him
I
be.
want to
Not
get
it.
injured.
then
Why
he
didn't we get injured?
then he made himself a professional sportsman. I took my cricket bat, which I trained night
Yeah,
and day
Yeah.
with, and I walked like
He's,
No,
he's like
English
What
till
was the
now. Nobody in
significance of the
Kashmir.
bat, by the way?
uh,
What was the
No,
significance
just
of the
it
bat?
was my walking stick. It was my walking stick. We were playing cricket, and then I was going home after playing cricket at some
so
point,
his
I guess.
parents said, how cute. And nobody knew the pain he was going through.
Oh
So while the
wow, cricket
Ukrainians are
bat.
suffering, just to mention, all of us have gone through different things at the same
Yeah,
time.
correct.
So there's a lot of
Life
empathy in
Yeah.
this room.
is
That's
rough. Yeah.
fabulous. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Naveen, your injury we didn't get into today. This happened just now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was running to the lift because I was late, and
Is it still hurting or is it better?
it's going to hurt like a bitch afterwards. Right now, it's one of those things where your nail gets banged into a marble thing, and then later it becomes a blood clot over time. Then the blood clot has to travel upwards as your nail grows, so it can be out. So I can't wear more slippers anymore.
Can you
I
show
have
it,
to recover
Naveen?
my. No,
I mean,
what kind of weird Tarantino foot fetish is this? I'll
Because
show it
a
to you.
lot of people watch the video only; they don't have the audio.
wow,
on.
you're flexible, dude.
Wow,
You
man.
see this?
Is this your feet
Damn,
or me?
how the
Is that your leg or the partner's
I
leg?
think
my
this is somebody
foot.
else's
I
feet.
got
Naveen.
Antariksh's
He's only
feet.
5 foot.
I think this is somebody else's feet, man. This is not.
How
me.
did you
You
just
can't
do
be this
that? Dude, that
flexible.
is insane.
Dude, I'm gay, man. Like I do things.
But
Don't
dude,
bring gay into it. How dare you?
I
Yeah.
will bring gay into it. You know
Yesterday's
what?
episode
Azma
was
told
so
me to be
bad.
very. Yeah, she
We're
told
so
me to be very
worried.
careful today.
To be very careful, really. Like, no, nothing, no PC going out of
Yeah, I
control.
can bring
In
it.
fact, I'm just going to open the door while you all start the show. Thank God.
For
Okay.
whom?
So I have to say, let's just get into a topic before Cyrus comes back, so that he's forced to discuss the topic.
You think?
Yeah, let's just do it.
Dude,
Uh,
wow, Naveen. And I was very
Okay,
impressed
Cyrus,
with the
go ahead.
fact that you just got your feet like that. Are you sure
That
this
was-
is.
Yeah,
You
man,
literally
I'm
did,
chubby,
dude.
but I'm flexible.
Literally look like
I really am.
you know, like in those comedy scenes in movies, they will show
Yeah,
like
किसी
extra
और
like
का
was
हाथ
slapping
है.
someone's face, like
Can
Zohan
you
or
put
something, you know.
Can you put his left foot on his shoulder? I mean, that would be great. Then we don't have to do the podcast also. We'll just show
Don't
that for
tell
10
me,
minutes.
dude. Don't tell me,
Wow.
dude. What
Oh
are you
my
This is not
saying,
your
God.
man?
feet. This is not
Dude,
your
it's
feet. Fuck
amazing.
off. I'm
But
sorry.
everyone,
can't
Rishi,
believe
This is not.
Rishi got very fair feet, Rishi.
This is my
Why
feet. See?
why do you do this stupid comedy routines? Just do this. This is huge.
This is because of
India
Why do you
cannot
hate
be
Baba
difficult.
Ramdev when you've learned so much from him? Clearly.
Or he from you, because this is
Yeah, or he
very
from
high
you.
level.
He's
Yeah.
clearly
Yeah.
learned from me.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is
Yeah, Naveen, I'm
amazing,
very
man.
impressed.
Indian.
This is
Wow,
very
yeah.
No
flexible.
wonder
Bro.
he's breaking the beds wherever he goes, boss.
Yeah.
He's so
I
flexible.
am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bed is like
Yeah.
rubber.
Okay.
Don't
I
show your
can't be more
third
graphic
leg.
on the show.
Hello,
Don't
started.
show your
We
third
thought
leg. Wow.
we'll have a vegetarian show today, but our people are, as usual, decided that that's not a
Escalated
good
not
idea.
so quickly.
Really. Oh. Okay, injury discussion is over, and now
Yeah.
today we've got some hard-hitting topics which
But
nobody else
Yeah,
is
yeah.
during
discussing in
injury
the world.
discussion, Cyrus, just one thing I want to ask you, because you seem very experienced about this, that it can be this kind of damage. Andar pura blue ho gaya hai. So is that also a bad sign or something?
No, that's a good sign. The
Okay.
coloring means that the healing has already started. You're good,
Yeah.
bro. You're good.
Blue,
The
purple,
only
and then
worry is
becomes
it a fracture or
dark
not?
red.
That's all. There's not too much
Thanks.
tendon in the area. I don't think
This
we
is
should
the
worry about
panel
all
I
that.
come to for doctor medical advice. This is
Because,
amazing.
because just because we are no year MBBS doesn't mean we don't know medicine. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Look at Naveen. He proved. I think Naveen, what you've done, you've taken medicine to another level by putting your foot on
Yeah.
your shoulder. I will trust you completely after that. Because which bloody
Yeah.
doctor
Yeah.
can do that? That's
We all
just
should
fantastic.
practice homeopathy now. That's what I'm saying.
You're a homeo. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I thought you were going for a homeo something joke, but I guess this is not the right forum for that. We've been cleansed. Kal ke baad. Even Navina, who's one of the bosses in this IVM unit, even she was appalled, and she's generally not appalled by anything we say. How do you guys manage to not get cancelled after? See? Yeah.
What was
Yeah,
talked about
exactly.
yesterday? Now I'm curious.
Let's
Let me
not.
answer that
Cyrus,
first.
Let's not.
Cyrus dropped the C
Let's
word. No,
go-
let's,
go
let's,
to-
let's go with it. Let's
Only
go with it.
because nobody listens. That's why we didn't get cancelled, but we really should have.
Yeah, that's true.
It was mistake after
Yeah.
mistake, and all four participants were guilty. It
In-
wasn't like one guy was
in-
badly behaved. Yeah,
Yeah, in 10 years, when we become as big as Joe Rogan, this will come back to
It'll
haunt
come
us.
back to haunt you
Yeah,
all, yeah.
exactly.
I'm
for
sure.
I
Each
mean, there
one
have
of
been
us
other
was
shows also in the
horrible.
past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I've
nicest
produced
word that
multiple-
came out was CHAKKA. Is that the way to
Don't
spell
say
it?
it. Don't say it.
Don't-
The
no,
whole point of it was
God.
not to say it.
Yeah,
And when that's
Bro,
the
you
nicest
should
word.
just involve me into this as well. Suddenly,
how do we, Silverie, where's the memo?
Why?
How do we discuss?
How?
It's like the N word, bro. How do
You
we
know
how do we say
You
it?
know what? I'll just
saying it? I
play
don't
the
know.
yesterday's episode and we'll watch it again. So the entire same sequence.
Antariksh, you seen that
Shot of
Bilbo
this
said about this guy who's just next to him sitting on a pub, and you know that he's gonna drop the N word. And
Yeah,
suddenly
correct.
Arey, wow, this was
And unnecessary.
Okay.
There was at least they were watching a sports program or something. So there was always this racism about who the athlete is in his head. But here there was no reason. Even yesterday there was mostly no reason. I don't
But
know
why
people
why
going
was
there.
it being discussed?
It started with the sexist. By the way, it started with the sexism in comedy, for which most of you all are guilty apparently. Naveen, oh God, Naveen now is going to start on that.
By the way, Kajol has asked to come back on the show to address all the things you
Yeah.
have spread about her falsely, apparently.
I have
Allegedly.
I'm just listening to Puneet and
Yeah, but you're also
Akash and me.
egging. You're also
Who are
egging
these people,
again
by
and
the way?
We
again.
want the
Puneet and
truth.
who?
In the words of Arnab
Puneet and-
Goswami, we have to find the truth.
Who was yesterday's
well.
panelist? Puneet and
Kajol.
Yeah. No,
No,
Puneet
no.
and who's yesterday?
Yes, yesterday was all male. Yesterday was all male.
Abbas. Puneet and Abbas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Day
just-
before was
Oh,
we had
because
it
50
all
Kajol was not even on the show.
blends into
She was not even on the show.
no, Abbas and she wasn't on the show
Oh,
yesterday.
but she heard
Day
the
before
show.
yesterday she was on, and then we were discussing it yesterday
Oh,
also.
I mean,
okay.
the
Because
moment-
Puneet was
the moment-
producer.
that's what most of the views are. It's just other panelists catching
Yeah,
up on
talking about
the
other panelists. Yeah,
That's
when
it.
Kajol was on, we were talking to her about Akash Mehta.
Yeah.
This is like a whole thing. Yeah.
Today we've
So
done
let's
about
go to
half an hour
topics.
just
Continue topics,
talking about them.
Chuck it.
This is
Chuck
fantastic.
yesterday.
Yeah. All right, quickly before we get into
Photo
topics,
You can say
just a
Chuck.
reminder.
Chuck, you can say just for the record. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Bhul jao.
Just
Ho gaya.
be
Okay.
clear.
So before we get into topics, quickly, if we can remind everyone
What's this?
to please
They've
hit
got to be
like.
clear. I'm saying
Please.
before you take offense or not take offense, be clear. Like a menu card. Menu pe likha hai, ye khana hai, wo khana hai, ye khana hai, ye rate hai. Be clear. If people are clear, we can all get along well. If the clarity is the issue, even at the end where the clarity is the issue. Who can say it, who can't say it, what
I think you
context?
should just give up. You should just give up that everything, whatever we say in 5 years later, it'll all be offensive. It'll all be so because, yeah, I mean, yeah, you should just give up that hona to hai. So yeah, live while it's working out.
The worst
So-
is when some people say you can't say this word in any context. I'm like, but any context? What is this fascism in vocabulary now? There has to be
Which
some
word?
context to say some word.
Which word?
Whatever. I'm not getting into it now, but Silverie
The
will
word
start
he
screaming
said.
at me. Yeah.
The
I
word,
mean, sexist,
like even.
racist, ageist, जो
बट
भी है.
अगर क्रिकेट चल रहा हो और अगर किसी ने छक्का मार दिया तब तो बोल सकते हैं कि अरे
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
कितना अच्छा छक्का
But
था.
that's the thing. A famous comic actually used it as a joke and was very homophobic at the same time. And I was an open micer back then at Canvas, so I remember this kind of like affecting me in the long
Like,
run
what was the
because like
joke?
the joke was that a baller balls the ball to the batsman and he hits a straight drive and hits the baller
Yeah, this
in the
is
testicles. Okay,
राजू श्रीवास्तव
and the
का
joke.
जोक ना or
No, no,
something.
this
I
was
remember.
Rivaldo. He said this
Okay. Okay.
on Canvas stage,
Often
and he was like,
mistaken for each other.
yeah. So he hits the ball directly to the baller's testicles, and he's like, "तेरे चौके के चक्कर में ये छक्का बन जाता." That was the joke, and I'm just sitting in the audience as a young open micer who was just done like 5 minutes before him, as a gay micer, like just like being very open about my life, and so I think that's also like various shades of comedy have not been vetted yet because people kind of think that it's okay to say these things, not realizing the impact it can have on other people, right? So it's taken so many years of just like even for the other comics to
But
if they
Naveen,
have a
what
gay
if
joke, they'll come
Naveen,
to me
what?
first
Just
and address
what if
it.
he,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
so what if he set it up like I have an obnoxious friend. You won't believe what he said, and then he said this, and he said the same
Yeah.
joke.
And a lot of
Then
people say this
honestly,
these things.
yeah. So he's
Yeah,
making
then
fun
that
of that
obnoxious
guy.
friend
That's
is
it.
you only. You're
But
just like filtering your views through another person's
okay, but I'm
imaginary
saying the
fucking brain.
context is important, right? Then I'm not, as an audience member, I won't feel as offended if he says ki they are jokers, others say stupid things, and that's the stupid phrase. That's it.
Yeah.
When
I
people say
think
you
if
can't
overall
use
your
it,
brand was just that makes sense, right? Like for example, when we speak Bill Burr, we know Bill Burr is like this brash, Bostonian, angry man who does this. Like,
yeah.
so I mean like you don't give him the benefit of doubt, but you just understand that is a brand of
And
comedy, right?
Yeah.
But
I
here
mean,
in
what
India, we always
upset
have
you or annoyed you more? The fact that that joke was cracked, or I mean, I'm just trying to
it's like
understand.
a lowbrow
Also,
joke
because
no,
going
no,
for
the
or
the.
the
fact that
audience also
people
laughing at it because
are
it's
just
also
laughing at it. Like
yeah.
they lost it. They lost it, right? And the thing is, like, no matter how much we work to make it a little more like, for example, today we have Ritu Shri, who's a trans woman, right? She's a comic and she's now doing a show. She did a solo show in Bangalore. She opened for my show as well. So now when she comes into this ecosystem, it's very important for us to celebrate them, right? We immediately can't alienate them saying कि हम तो बोलेंगे ये word, हम good मामू बोलते रहते. So when I was also coming up, so many people say like ये homogiri चल रहा है, ये goodgiri चल रहा है. People use these words, and I'm like, okay, I'll take it in stride because I'm a comic. You make fun of it, right? Like Vipul Goel, Kamra, whenever they were in the green room, they would like grill me for jokes in a way, But you live through it because that's how you come up in the scene, right? You don't like take offense to everything, but you also
Hmm.
find a middle ground where you're like, ये ज़्यादा हो
But
गया,
can I say something, Avi?
Yeah.
And you know better than me, and you it hits you better than worse than us. But the point is, the gay jokes, double entendre that we do, or sometimes have done, or others have done, they always work. So you have to
Yeah, of
understand a
course.
comic also. If he's failing, sometimes he turns to the safety
Yeah.
ones, and it's a real koila double entendre rubbishy joke. I agree with you, the chakka
Hmm.
reference, but it works. So what are you going to do?
Correct. The thing is, like,
This
are you
idea is
understanding
not
that?
to disrespect;
Are we
it's to just
laughing?
to.
No. The thing is, are you laughing at the person's misery or you're laughing with the fact that, hey, we can also make fun of it? Like the fact that I have all my trans friends, my non-binary friends, and they have like the best sense of humor.
Hmm.
But given that we all respect each other, right? When that joke is cracked, there's no respect. They're like, yeah, I'm looking down upon you. It's punching
Or
down,
if
right?
they
What we
had
always
cracked
talk.
it,
Yeah, exactly. So like when Ritushri does, she has a very funny joke, which I can't do because it's her joke. But she does a joke about like
but you're saying it's a joke, you can do it.
I mean like the family talking
That's
about like her
exactly
losing her
like
penis
saying
essentially.
मेरे
Like
दोस्त
that's
ने
what
बोला or
Same hai,
exactly,
same hai.
exactly.
yeah.
And you're not saying
But
male dost or female dost. That's an important point here also. Oh, sorry, God.
yeah, so I think it's let the person who's going through it say what they want to say. If you want to make a joke about it, by all means do it, but like do it with good spirit. I feel like if you're condescending and looking down upon a person mentally only, it reflects in your jokes as well. I think that's a given, and I think we all have to address it at some point.
Did you just throw something at your dog, Cyrus?
Yeah, I'm trying to stop her from opening the door because now otherwise Amit will start going crazy that I went back home
Hello,
and his
such
show
a
presentation was amateur. Huh?
Naveen was in middle of such a heartfelt no this
Yeah.
is wrong, this is not Cyrus is
Shut the fuck up, you bitch.
Faridabad, that's my story. Yeah, but can I just last word on the subject so we can start talking about something else? I'm just worried ki, in all our PC, we then just there's nothing left because in the end it's the same thing as when fascists tell you not to say something or religion tells you not to say something. Everything I mean, shouldn't it just be about intent? If the intent is not to dehumanize someone or
Exactly.
make them
Exactly
feel
what I'm saying,
terrible,
Cyrus. But
it's still a
if
joke.
your intent is fine, no, there's 10 other people whose intents are not fine. So they'll use your joke as a platform to dehumiliate again, dehumanize, sorry, that person again because they're like, "हाँ, इसने ऐसा बोला, that applies to you." Like so many things that in the past have been said, like even on Laughter Challenge or whatever, they're used still to this day to like, call people out, like for Kapil Sharma's show also, when you see like men dressed up as women and they do all these things, like Gutti's character, whatever this character, people pretend to be that character and insult trans women,
But
right? So like
50% of the
this
reason they do it is because they get a great laugh still. The drag act
exact
still works. I hate it myself. The bloody Kunal is doing it every second week next to me. I hate it.
yeah,
But it works. What can we do? Why do
second
people
hand
laugh? It's
laughs.
also the fault of the market. Market. Market is
Shouldn't
to
we
be
be
blamed
telling the
also.
people to laugh at better stuff then eventually? Like, aren't we like raising the brow ourselves, or are we
But everything I
decreasing
say,
it by
nobody
arguing?
laughs. So then we just put him in a sari. That's
Then you know what
the
time it is, Cyrus. You know what time it is.
right. Sorry.
LIC premium.
Let's get back to the car salesman. Abijit Ganguly. Next to you is Mr. Silverie, owner of 8
Yes, sir.
cars. Lives in a bungalow in Powai and doesn't really care about gay, straight, eunuch or
And keeps
non-eunuch or
jumping from
whatever.
the first floor. Let's not forget. Yeah.
Yeah, all
At
the
the
time.
age of 5, mind you, at the age
Yeah,
of
yeah.
5, which is a
Yeah.
world record. You have
That's
to check
This
it
that's how
out.
I
story
got
is
out of my
more
house today
made up
also.
than Donald Trump stories. This story is so made
Man,
up.
why would I make it
Ridiculous.
up? It actually
Because
happened.
nobody jumps from first floor at the age of 5. I can get it
I
if
mean,
you're
this
adolescent or
idiot
something.
did,
And
yeah. Like, this is what
5
is.
is
And then he becomes AK Hungal with his bat and slow walk,
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
rest of
yeah.
the day. I mean, the whole thing
I mean,
changes.
I climbed till the first floor of my house also. I was going out from my friend's house, jumped from the first floor, and entered my house and climbed to the first floor. I couldn't jump back
Dude, if you
up,
would have been recording
sadly.
this from your home, we would have actually asked you कि if any family member of yours can validate this story because I am just
Yeah.
not able to.
Yeah, like, yeah, I
No, I'm
don't. Cool.
I'm
I got
worried
my
about
mom.
the fact that you picked on that family in Faridabad. I mean, you did the same thing at the age of 5, which makes them really
Yeah, but
mature.
these are grown adults doing this. No,
And the kid
like
was 8,
there's a
3
difference.
years older than you. I mean, just for the
Yeah, but
record.
the mother was the one who was putting him down. My mother would have slapped me, like whatever. Like she
There are
was pretty
people on the
angry.
chat who are saying she still can.
Yeah, she can. She still
This
can. That's
time.
great.
Huh.
All right.
Hello. Naveen, we put
Uh,
Naveen into a very
yes.
serious mood. I'm worried. And that
Yeah,
No, no,
angst,
it's cool,
when he
man.
becomes angst,
We have some
serious,
I'm
funny,
feeling bad
he's
about it.
dangerous.
Yeah.
we have some very
Because we
fun
can't
topics
match
like
it.
Russia, Ukraine,
We
and all to
can't
talk
match
about.
it.
Like
Yeah.
Naveen
All
has
good.
gone through so many emotions very early in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
morning, like
I,
lifts
I
back,
think,
like banging yourself on the stairs.
yes.
It's just been a lot of
Yeah.
emotions coming his
Can you
way.
believe the
Like,
same guy who waved his foot to you to say hello, good morning? That same guy is now going to punch Silverie for saying something wrong. So he's not even the comic who used that reference. It,
like within a matter of 15 minutes, he has had this heartfelt, he has had to say something, show his feet,
Yeah.
and also bang himself against. Like, there's just a lot of a huge range.
and
I
in
just had
between,
way
help
too much
you with
coffee in
the
one go, I feel. Can
black
I have
and
more
blue
coffee?
situation with your hand.
He's like, "Can I have some coffee right now?" Of
But
course,
you
you
finished your cup?
Yeah, I finished my cup.
That was a
I was
fast.
so angsty. I am angsty. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like I
You
think it's
want one more cup?
for the right reason. You know
No,
what
correct.
also happens is like when reporters call me, for example, like they have so much information about the queer community now. It's very well spoken about. Media covers it, but still like, the same thing. Ki, you are a gay. I'm like, I'm not a gay man. I'm gay. That's my orientation. I'm a human first, right? I'm a boy. I'm a comic. Like understand nouns and proper nouns. So it's like so infuriating that
But
even
they say
now
you
people
are
are
a
like,
gay.
But Naveen,
yeah,
honestly speaking, that I mean, I agree with everything, but that the thing,
Just
no, that can
ignorance.
be just that can be an English thing also. It can be a
Correct. And
lack
and
of
it's
yeah.
not
knowledge
These
of
are
intended.
these are
like.
English journalists. These are from like
Yeah,
I'm not talking
but
about
he's not
Delhi Bhaskar
intending to
people. I'm talking
disrespect you.
about
He
like
just
Indian
doesn't know
Express.
better. I mean, a lot of people
Yeah.
say a gay and all that. If English speaking,
Yeah,
Hindi
so
speaking, whatever. I
and I've
think
literally
that's
made a
the
joke
I
about this as
agree.
well. Like, I'm not a gay, I'm the gay. Karke. Like, it's a running gag also. But I just feel like, at some point, where do you become better journos, right? Like, when you are going to ask a person a question, how much sensitivity goes into it, right? Right now, I'm working as a consultant on a show merely for the fact that they want to address like an entire spectrum of the entire community, but nobody knows how to because people are like, yeah, pronouns are difficult, this and that. I'll respect a person. I'll start with respect first and then go with pronouns. How is that difficult? People don't have respect only to begin with. They're like, hey, choose hai, ye wo karta hai, ye wo karta hai. That's the whole point, right?
Okay,
And I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
I'm a heart
No, but
patient.
what
This
he's
up
saying is
because
absolutely.
I'm talking about this because when I do this again on stage and there, I reclaim that fucking title, right? Because it has to be made fun of. I understand that it's funny when people talk about quintessentially the idea of okay, dudes banging each other. It's hilarious to you, right? It's great. Laugh at it, but don't laugh at my misery, right? Don't laugh at the fact
Yeah.
that 10 people when I walk on the street make me feel miserable about my orientation. That's all I'm saying. That if you move on from the maturity level of that key, a person can exist without us disrespecting their orientation, then we have better humanity and comedy and whatever fuck. But here's the thing, right? Everyone's like, कि, चलता है यार, बोल दिया हमने तो क्या हो गया? But you don't understand how much effect it has. Like right now, I'm doing a show called Curated Comedy, where every month we bring queer comics from around the country. In Zoom, I found like people from Chennai, people from Kashmir, people from Tamil Nadu, everywhere people are like coming out and talking on Zoom open mics, right? Pansexuals. So the
Chennai is
point
in
of it
Tamil
all,
Nadu.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm giving examples right now. So the whole point of it is that if there was never a platform for them to speak, because when the platform is given to everybody, everybody's busy insulting us. Then where do they go, right? So now slowly we have more queer comics, and that's the whole idea. Right? If they feel comfortable in a space, then that's safer for them. That's good for them.
But coming back,
That's all I'm saying.
sorry, Naveen, I
Hmm.
accept everything I was saying, but going back to Abhijit's point for a second, अगर वो आदमी का intent, hateful नहीं है, because he's like an
Hmm.
idiot, he's saying gay, but he's not meaning to put you down. He just shows
He's
how
just saying
ignorant
this
you are in
thing
the
like he
subject.
doesn't know how it is said, or so. I mean, the
Yeah,
person. I mean, if I get it,
but
like
it's not
it
a
can still be annoying because if you have experienced some annoying things, then it's
correct, correct,
obviously
Yeah,
something
absolutely.
that.
like
But
But
he's not
8 years of
personally
coming
going
out.
out of his way to abuse you in any way. It's just a
Yeah.
stupidity or lack of understanding of the subject. That's
Yeah,
all.
that's
I think
frustrating at
that's
this
one
point.
of the
That's what I'm
many
saying.
things that Naveen is saying. That's one of the men. And
Yeah, it's like a
firstly, I
cascade
think
reaction.
political correctness, everything, different topics. I think 90% of these things, no, can be just while cracking jokes or something. Just don't be an asshole. Just don't be an
Kajol says
asshole.
you rock,
Kajol.
Naveen. You
Yeah. So
with your intensity and your rage, you have captured the market and gone away from our
somebody
flippant
even
conversation.
somebody even made that comment before that
Gaurav.
Naveen is being very quiet today. Naveen was
And
like,
now look
bitch.
what happened. Now we
Yeah.
don't know how to shut him up. We're scared to. And Silverie has
No, it's
gone
okay.
completely quiet. Moment we mention, transsexual or homosexual, I wonder if he's latently gay himself. Because every time we go to
Trans
this
woman,
No,
subject,
Cyrus. Transsexual
because
is different than
Yeah.
trans woman. It's different.
no, no, no. I'm
this
not
is just
asking
the
for
gay
equal.
thing happening
I'm saying
again.
let's
Yeah.
flog.
I just realized there's too much of 90s conditioning to unravel here for
Okay, I'll
Cyrus.
tell
So
you
I'm
what
like,
we
I'm
do.
okay.
Every show, when you come on, you spend 5 minutes explaining one thing to us properly,
I had
and
an
people
entire
listening.
podcast called Keeping It Queer for that exactly thing. You
No, no,
can literally like people like I did
but
three
that's too
seasons of
much
this
info,
that show.
bro. That's
So
sometimes too much info. It's like my wife took me
see,
to see art in Paris.
how is
Okay,
that
she
too
made me
Cyrus,
much
see five
information? I'm
galleries in
sharing my
one day. I
life.
could retain anything.
Oh God.
Cyrus, just stop talking.
I'm comparing
Just
I
homosexuality to
should I
every
should
art.
just
single line you're
I'll
saying,
truncate.
I can see
Yeah.
the reaction on Naveen's face, and he's just getting redder and redder. So
It's like a podcast with too
stop.
much information. Give me five
See, the
minutes
thing
vignettes
is,
of your life
Abhijit,
every
end
day.
of the day, you're already injured and I'm far away, so he can only attack Silvery if he loses it. Yeah,
Silvery,
and
this is
Silvery
the
has
time as a producer you should move on to a different topic. You should say,
Yes,
guys, let's
please.
come on to
I
topics.
thought I didn't
Silvery
want to
is
interrupt
paralyzed
Naveen,
with
man.
fear.
Very,
Abhijit,
he's
देख
very
देख
passionate.
तो सही.
He's
He's
passionate.
absolutely.
Naveen was very
But it's
passionate, so I
okay.
didn't
I mean,
want to.
Naveen's reaction is
Yeah.
understandable.
Don't give
Nothing
him
can
more
change that.
coffee.
Yeah.
Don't give him more coffee.
He
Silvery,
bought
what
me
are you
like a
doing?
three-fourth of a mug.
All right,
He's too
please let's
awake now.
stop.
Let's sedate him a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Like 5 minutes.
anyway,
Yes.
last
Then,
All
bit,
right.
then.
Naveen, I think you've made your point beautifully. I think everyone should understand. All he's trying to say is that you have to show basic respect before you insult anyone. I believe in Hindi, you use the
Second
word
half of
G.
that sentence was
You,
not required. Show
Abhijit, if you say
basic respect के बाद full stop था.
नहीं,
Before
वो
you
तो सही.
insult anyone.
But I'm saying if you say mother chode, you say mother chode G. Then I'm saying, is that good? Is that acceptable? Okay, we'll
Okay,
go on. He's
let's keep
giving
move
dirty
on. Yes.
looks. He's
I think
like
All
my
step
right.
it
mom
up
now.
and give more
This is like my
respect. Like be
mom
like
reaction.
father chode. That's even more patriarchal.
Oh,
How
What?
about
What?
that?
I don't
What?
know.
What
You and
happened?
me can leave. Silvery, Abhijit and me can get out and come back in 10 minutes.
I'm no way grouping with you, Cyrus, right now. I think we are all different entities with different opinions.
No. We are going down on the ship together, brother. Any PC mistake that's
I'm
happened, all
Bengali.
for a no. Bengali by
I'm Bengali.
that's true.
Choti
You all have a
hate.
gender issue. You all have a gender issue in language. You're right. You're completely safe. Yeah. Uh,
Man, really,
okay.
let's
Each
move on
man for
finally, please.
himself or herself
Or
Okay.
woman
or
because it's
their.
the same.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, I think this is the long time to ask for a like, but please hit like, guys.
it is. I can't believe
Tone
that.
deaf.
It's the
Antariksh,
wrongest.
you
Yeah.
tone deaf.
The one
Okay,
guy
okay.
decided to tune in.
Next.
Ayushi. All our people are attacking us now. Oh my god.
Yeah, because the panel is like, what's happening?
Yeah, man, that's it.
It's
Okay,
been building up to this.
let's go. Let's go.
Man, this is
All
such a
right.
bad professional occupational. Is at this point, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
If you
Guys,
don't
there's a war
mind.
going on.
Uh, uh, uh,
Let's and amidst the war, the Queen of England, who is always involved, like right on the top of matters, involved in the war, she has decided to launch a dog perfume, which she says smells of coastal walks, which is
Coastal
very
what?
interesting. Coastal
What does
Walks.
coastal
walks.
walk smell of?
Oh, like
I
walk.
don't know, like
Wet
Like
along
joint.
the
Jew chapati? Are you saying what
Yeah.
chapati smell? Because that's more
they
like a.
describe the scent as a rich musky scent with citrus notes of bergamot. Bergamot is I guess some kind of plant.
You know, whatever it is, it's what all dogs desire. You ask any dog, and they're like bergamot, man. Please, that's what I
Bergamot.
want.
Yeah,
Kahan pe hai?
that's why they put their hands when they see you because they want
Yeah,
you to praise them.
bergamot. Oh, it's an orange plant. Bergamot orange is
Sounds
okay.
like something that would go
Citrus.
into a Harry
But
Potter
I don't know
potion.
what the problem is, bro. The world has to go on.
Yeah,
We can't just
that
stop.
actually sounds a lot
Just
like Voldemort. Yeah.
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 inspired.
I mean, yeah, the
But
world has
she's,
to go on, but like just the timing of it is very funny to me
my question is,
because
has she designed the
there's so
perfume in
many.
some way, or they've just lent her name to it?
That
It's
would
the
make her
it's
useful,
from.
Cyrus. She ain't doing that.
So I'll show
That
you.
would- yeah.
I'll show you an image.
She
So
must have
it's
been like,
from.
I want a perfume that can go very
Now
well
you
with
can
my
make fun of the queen.
corgis.
I find that very offensive.
Yeah, they shat on us for so many years. Again, punching up Cyrus. You have
Not
to do
her
all of these things.
personally.
I was just doing an
I don't
accent.
know.
Yeah, her
We
personally.
can't,
I didn't
but
call
Cyrus,
her.
we can't
I
shit
didn't
on
say
the
that.
queen. Like that is there's literally one person in
This
the
is
world we should be
Yeah,
allowed
she's
to shit
stolen
on
our
is the
Kohinoor.
queen.
Yeah.
This is a picture of from Sandringham Estate. That's some Queen
Mm.
ka some estate, which has a dog cologne, and there's hair on the product image, which
Yeah.
is just
Where,
dirty.
where
Dude.
did they even use it
Yeah,
first?
there's you see this. Can you, I don't know if you guys can see this.
It's on
this thing.
purpose, by the way. I
Little
can
bit
tell
of
you it's
hair.
purpose.
Okay, zoom in more. I'm being
I'm
Cyrus,
told
sure
to
queen
zoom
is
this.
the
more, but
only person
my
the right
computer
and
is
the
not
left
letting
will
me.
agree that we can make fun of her. Like, both
I
sides
Yeah.
are
will not
allowed.
allow you. Not on this show. You can make
These
fun of all
Parsis
kinds of
have a
sexuality.
hangover.
You leave the queen alone. This is not fair. And can I just tell you that some of these perfumes will smell better than the human perfumes? Huh? I would love to have a whiff. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
हम लोग 150 रुपए का axe ले रहे हैं तो उससे तो better ही
Yeah.
smell आएगा ना इसका तो
Yeah.
Exactly.
वो तो
And some dog biscuits taste better if you ever try them.
Yeah.
Some dog treats also.
I've tried cat treats. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not bad, no? Some
They're
of them. I'm not saying
crunchy
all,
and
but
Yeah,
chicken.
really.
yeah.
I've okay.
Yeah, that's my only problem. Like now that I have like 3 cats, and I used to be a dog person growing up, but now I can't stand the smell of dogs over like more than half an hour and I have to take a bath. They're disgusting.
Guys, I once threw a dog from the first floor. No, I didn't. I'm just joking. Just joking. Just joking. Just joking.
Okay,
I
Tarun
did not
Aside,
have
Kaushik
it.
come
said
from there.
something about
dude
dog smells.
Antariksh
No, no.
like
My dog actually jumped from the first floor just to follow me. No, I
He's
didn't
that
again.
engineering student who was caught on camera.
No, no.
Okay, I'm telling you, the dog was 5 years old. That made sense. Now, dog perfumes are really
Yeah,
necessary. I picked my cousin's dog, and I picked. What do you mean I picked? I chose
Picked
my
up.
cousin's dog,
I
Yeah.
picked
and
up.
it
Yeah.
smelled really awful. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I
I
mean,
find
sure.
I find
which dog was
Do you
this
use dog
Tarun?
perfume?
Which dog was
Cyrus?
this? Now we are curious about the story.
I like the
Breed,
smell of
yeah.
dogs. I just don't. I think human smells are more dangerous sometimes between you and me. Some of them can be really scary, and they stay in the room.
Yeah.
I think we are used to dog smell, so I don't get it. I don't pick up the
But
dog
That's
cats
smell.
what
are
I'm
way
talking about.
cleaner and like not smelly, right? Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah,
they-
they're
no, no.
always like
Cats also, but
self-cleaning.
you have to. Their litter box and all can smell, man. Like they can smell of a place.
Oh yeah.
They're like,
They don't want any shit on them, but when they shit in a litter box, it's a massacre. So you have to go and clean it before
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it hits the air because it's all rotten fish smell, right? It's disgusting.
yeah. So you have to air it out. Otherwise, I mean, you have to keep it
I mean, but
ventilated.
to
Yeah,
be
so-
fair, that's a
Otherwise-
litter box. Like, ऐसा तो हमारा भी toilet का smell तो आता ही होगा. Like,
हाँ,
but
exactly.
इंसान
That's the
का
best thing,
If
अलग
you
right?
didn't
तो,
flush,
हाँ.
if you
हाँ,
didn't
if you
flush,
didn't
हाँ,
flush,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
if you
If
didn't
you just
flush
keep
for
shitting on
hours,
top of
Or
each
if it's
other,
a
it'll be
public one.
non-stop. Yeah, it's like a softie
reaches
of
the
where,
ceiling.
where there's no flush or the flush doesn't work. Yes, you're right. Absolutely.
yeah.
What's our take? Can we make fun of cats? Just
Yeah,
checking.
go
Yeah.
for it.
Cats
Yeah,
and
we
Queen.
can.
I'm making my list now. Abhijit,
Yeah.
this is the new comedy that you're allowed.
Depends. In the next 3 years, maybe it won't be allowed. So yeah, while
One
the,
cat and no queen.
Yeah.
That's where we
When
are. at
cats
the
take
moment.
over eventually, they'll bring this recording back to us.
Hey, but
What
was
was
this a real queen or was this Hrithik Roshan? You know.
Yes, it was.
What is the price? Is there a price
Really
tag?
It was like I read somewhere. It wasn't that expensive. It was like very reasonably priced. I felt, but £9.
That's a lot.
9.99
that?
pounds.
That's not. I mean,
I don't
that's
know.
800
A grand,
rupees something.
1,000,
Yeah, I mean,
1,000.
How
queen
much a
कुछ
pound?
बेच रही है उतना तो रहेगा ही ना अब क्या करें?
100. $100 a pound, 900 odd. Not. I don't know. I have no idea what perfumes cost. I just
9,000.
use my mother's,
Like-
if that's all right to say.
They
Just
should label it as
being
Woof de Cologne.
all right.
What?
Let's get
They're
Naveen back on track. He's becoming too nice. Who's going to poke the
shit.
bear? Come on. Who's going to make the comment? Oh,
I think
I don't
you will
get-
manage it, Cyrus. To be
I-
quite frank,
without trying.
Judging
Without
from how
trying.
this is going,
Guys,
without
of
trying,
corgis,
you
like-
will manage.
The Queen has corgis, and have you seen that video of like
30
where-
Not
corgis.
anymore.
by the way.
Not anymore. They're all gone now. Not
Three of-
anymore.
30
three of
corgis
them
she had at
left.
some point.
I like she's had like multiple corgis over the years.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's a video of a corgi, like a woman who has a corgi and a Labrador, and the Labrador's making fun of the corgi by walking like a smaller dog. Have you seen that? And it's mocking the little dog because they have smaller legs, and the poor corgi is like, "What did I do? It's so cute." But I bet they
Wow.
stink, so they need the perfume.
I just
I don't
got
know
to
what
know
I'm
that
saying.
corgi is a
Suddenly the
dog breed. I
podcast has
had no
gone into
idea
some
about it.
tragic dimension,
Yeah, I think
and
something
he's
is
having
off.
some
Let's take a
fantasies which
break.
none of us can understand.
Yeah,
What the hell is
let's
going on
just
behind our back, Silverie? Control that, Naveen. No more coffee for him to
let's.
begin
Too
with.
much
I say
emotions.
let's take a
What is
break,
that?
reset, and come back. Come back with
Yeah.
more topics.
I mean,
Let's
he's
do that.
talking about a friggin' corgi, a Labrador making fun of a corgi. That's allowed, but I can't
If I
make fun
saw
of a
the
guy
video, it
because of
would be you
alternate
would have laughed,
sexuality. But the world is all
guys.
over the place here. What about that Labrador? We'll take a
We're
break.
gonna take a break, and when I come back, the video will be cute. Okay, so then everybody can laugh together.
You have a cute video to show
Here's
us?
the break.
That's the video I described just now,
Oh,
motherfucker.
like that.
Rishi, pay the break. Save the show.
Okay,
Break,
okay.
break. Have a long break. Rishi, don't stop the break. Keep breaking.
Hello. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Raw and Organic, Kunal talks to Shivjit Gatke and Zahir Khan about how they came up with Step Set Go, a bootstrap startup. On Khel Niti, friend of the network Saurabh Pant joins Rajiv Mishra, Ayaz Memon and Sabak Karim to preview the India vs Sri Lanka series. On Pesa Vesa, Anupam speaks to Ram Iyer. He is the founder and CEO of the Vian Network. They discuss how trade finance works for local shops and SMEs. What is an oblate spheroid? The simplified hosts deconstruct the American football game and all there is to it. And on the Filter Coffee podcast, Karthik is in conversation with the Delhi High Court advocate Rohan Alva. They talk about his book, Liberty After Freedom, a history of Article 21, due process, and the Constitution of India. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. It really helps us. Don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms that you're listening to. And also remember, you can check us out on YouTube at www.ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Bank of Baroda and HDFC Life Insurance. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Just got a message in the chat. I want to read it out from Vinay. It says 7 years of IVM mentioned to do Cyrus. Now I'm going to have to unscramble that. So give me a minute. Silverie, what's your take on that message?
That IVM is turning 7 years old, and we should be happy.
Yes.
And Cyrus is also turning 7 years old,
7
and
years
Cyrus
old. Yeah,
also.
okay, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Might as well take a shot.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Emotionally, yeah.
Yeah.
Naveen,
So,
7
yeah.
years this podcast business. Not bad because we were the first
I
to
was there
start.
in the beginning. Yeah. We were there in
You were
the
there?
Eat, Sleep, Joke, Repeat also. Remember, we were both on that Savan
Correct.
podcast. From there, where
Yeah.
I got to work here. Yeah,
Correct.
we were in the formative years, and I really enjoyed working here. And I think this is my biggest stint of like working a 9 to 5 was at IVM, 2 years. No other work did I stick
Well,
around for this long.
I would call it more 10 to 6 or 7 because 9 you were never
It was
there. I don't
for
want to
Abbas.
take
It was
split
1 to 8.
Abbas came
Abbas,
late yesterday also. I
yeah,
mean, it was
Yeah,
no
he
joke for
came
that
like
guy.
5 minutes late
I'm pretty
yesterday.
sure.
Then he goes and takes a job in Powai and he lives in either Bhiwandi or Baikala, which are both
Baikala he
completely
lives.
now back there. So then inaccessible.
Yeah,
There's no way he'll go on time anywhere. It's madness
No,
complete.
no.
yeah, it's hilarious.
All right, let's get on with
Right.
our so-called show. We've had enough
Yes.
So
If we play the
finger
video,
pointing.
please.
Okay, yes.
I
I have a
think
video
The
to share
Labrador?
that Naveen has shared
I don't know if it's a
with
Labrador,
us.
but it's a dog. Let's watch.
Okay, we're gonna
Okay,
watch a dog video, guys.
the dog formerly a Labrador. There's no Labrador here. I can tell you that. This is
Oh, for the listeners who can't hear, there's a dog and a
and
corgi.
watching this. My dogs just start getting
Dog is
excited.
sliding on the
Yeah.
floor.
Yeah.
Look at him trying to be a corgo.
is he like trying to hum the floor or something?
No, he's mimicking him because corgis have short legs, no? So he's stumpy legs.
In a dog world,
Can your
a
dog
dog-
sense that there's a dog on screen?
This dog is gonna be cancelled one day.
Yeah, 5 years from now.
I don't know why you aren't picking up on that. I mean, this is
How
heckling.
dare
This is
he? How
sledging.
dare he?
This is
I mean-
racism of some kind. I mean, there's got to be
this
some.
has to
But you're
be
allowed to
It
make fun
shows-
of. You're allowed to make fun
yeah.
of family and friends.
But
no,
it's the
fine.
intent, right, Cyrus? The
Oh.
intent
What?
of the dog is
Just
to make
all
fun
dogs
of
are family and friends. That way, every human is
Dogs-
family and
They
friends.
both
Dogs
live
have a sense
together
of humor.
clearly. They
Dogs have a
clearly
sense
live
of humor.
together.
They live with us. They have to have a sense of humor. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah. We actually
True.
clean ourselves after doing our business, which is a ridiculous thing to do.
Yeah.
By the way, you've
Okay.
started a
And
revolution.
they
of
clean
both
their
the dogs
bums and they
are
come and lick our face. That's the
okay.
funniest thing.
Okay. All right.
Let's move on to
They
another
do
topic.
that.
Abhijit is going to check who the guest is next time, Naveen. You be very careful. His hand is paining. Now everything is paining.
Yeah.
All right. So that was
Alright.
our little video, courtesy Naveen and Silverie. And now what do we have on?
Now we have something very interesting out of Russia, Ukraine. We know the whole.
Hey, do you
of
think the
course,
queen
war
uses
going on.
adult diapers?
At this point, I think
I'm
she does.
sure.
You're on the line. Mr. Ganguly on the line.
Why?
Tell me.
Come on, Queen. We can definitely say
Gonna
anything
get
about.
cancelled by the
Yeah.
Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
You're
I
not allowed
think
in the
Meghan
Buckingham
Merkel would be
Palace
the
anymore,
first
Abhijit.
to go down, and then I'll get to know. I'll have enough warning before that. Yeah.
Sure.
Let's put it out in the
Okay.
chat. Are we allowed to make fun of the Queen, our
Of course we
leader,
are.
up to 47? Yes or no? Let's get the chat to
Of
answer
course.
before we end the
Or
show.
as I
Fair
call
enough.
her, Queef Elizabeth.
But you get no empathy with this way. I mean, you make fun of any group
Yeah.
you want to, and then suddenly you say, my group don't touch. I'm
Yeah,
not happy with all
It's a
this. If the same
superpower.
thing used to happen, people you just say crazy Bawa, this, that. I'm sure you guys, Bengali gets it all the time. We get immune to it after sometimes. It doesn't bother us. But I'm just thinking, if it goes for one community, it must go for all, right, Abhijit?
Yeah, what a tortured community.
Okay,
the
you
Parsis
just
are.
I said a lot of things, and after that said right, Abhijit. So I don't know. I'm not. I'm not
This
saying
is yes to
Have
wholeheartedly right.
people,
everything.
Everything
you
is
grew
right.
up in Delhi with a
So
Bengali surname. Have people made fun of you being a Bengali?
yeah, of course, a
And
lot.
you dealt
I
with
mean,
it.
but I've myself also made fun of Bengalis, and
Correct.
that's how it program. You get programmed, like
In your case,
yeah.
you just found Bengalis very funny, so you agreed and ended the matter. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there are a lot of funny things about us
There
also. I
is.
mean, I
There
was
are.
just talking to Didi only, like yesterday. We were walking around the society area, and this is Bengali kid, and I was just telling Didi, doesn't that Bengali kid look so bullyable? Like he just looks like the typical Bengali kid who's bullied all the time in school. There was this, one Bengali kid is all the time being bullied, and like वो लग नहीं रहा देख के एकदम बिल्कुल ही
Yeah.
वैसा होने वाला उसके साथ लाइफ में आगे दिख नहीं रहा है ये. So I guess it's a thing only, yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
the dark
amazing that
lamps don't help.
actually, no, I'm just saying
Yeah.
that all of us have these strong prejudices for right or wrong. They're already there in our subconscious. There's nothing we can do. I give up. I've decided. Just
That is
the
when we
stock
have
market is
moved
the
on to
future.
a topic with some other news thing. No, I think it's best that
Yes.
we don't go back to
No,
it
but
again.
I'm scared to go
Never
there.
come back to this topic.
Silverie setup for Ukraine, Russia is always very like nobody knows it's ever happened. Oh, by the
Yeah.
way,
I mean,
so in
let
Russia,
me say,
Ukraine
let me
Some
was
set it up.
attacked by
exciting
No,
news
Russia.
from Russia
Every
and
let me
day,
Ukraine.
set it
things
up.
happen.
You don't even
Everybody
let me
posts
talk.
around the world.
I
Yeah,
barely
poor fellow is
complete a
just
sentence.
scared right now. His color is like there's no blood on his face.
Man,
He's
7 years of
barely.
IVF.
Yeah,
Because
congrats,
he
guys.
jumped out of the first floor at
Please
just
like this
5 years of
stream.
age. Wasn't
Yeah.
easy. Bolo, sir. So
Yeah,
now,
dude, I'm telling you that's actually something somebody told me, that every time there's little bit of awkwardness or anything going on, no, jump in that spot and just say, guys, smash that like button,
That
smash
like
that like
button. Yeah.
button. That's the best
Subscribe
segue.
chalo, yeah.
Anything, yeah, smash that like button, guys. Yeah, so
Guys, like the bow.
Yeah. All right. So, Operation Ganga has been going on to bring our students, Indian students, back to India from the Ukraine, who were stuck in the Ukraine, right? And so, a lot of them have been crossing the border at Romania and Poland now. It's looking a little better that a lot of our students are able to get through now. Yesterday and day before, they weren't able to do so. Well, what has come out now is that they are being told, at least they're being advised, that if so that you don't get shot at, flash the tricolor, flash the Indian flag, so that you don't get shot at, because that's like they're
Nobody
allowed to be
misses,
crossed.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not
okay,
we've abstained from voting, so like people are like whatever, like nobody's shooting at us right now. Okay, so that the Indian tri flag has also come in the use of Pakistanis and Turkey people from Turkey. What are they called?
they're called
Turkish.
Turkish. But
Turkish, sorry.
They're called turkeys.
Yeah, Turkeys.
no, let's not fuck up that,
Yeah.
man, guys.
dude, really,
They're going after
Turkey
the
people,
countries now.
Turkey people
Turkey
is what
Turkey
you
people,
went with.
people who are
People
turkeys.
India,
Thanksgiving.
people from Pakistan and
You
Turkey,
know, like,
and
Turks.
yeah, so we've been
Yeah.
able to flash the flag as well, and then get entry into Romania and Poland and other neighboring
Right.
countries, which is pretty cool. It's cool that
yeah.
our
No, one second.
Pakistanis
So,
people
this is
here.
like
But that's
part of some
survival,
kind.
Our
man. You do
country.
whatever it takes to
Right,
just
that's
ensure
what,
survival,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
I don't think this is
Yeah, of course,
treason
of
of
course.
any
This is
kind.
great.
But I
It's
think,
a good story. That's
yeah,
a very
but
good story.
It's a
despite
great
all of
story.
that,
It's
like,
a great story.
yeah, the fact that brown and
Not such
black
a great
kids were
story
like
for Pakistan,
equal black kids.
probably, but great story.
Hey, bro, I got to say
Oh,
one thing.
man.
Tell me honestly, if their way out of a murderous situation and you've not eaten, you're almost going to die, etc., is that you just take anybody's flag, enemy country or whatever, and that
Yeah,
allows
yeah.
you to cross the border to
Cyrus, the
safety?
stakes need to be
Man,
much
you know
lower
what?
for
I'm
people to
imagining.
just shift. I genuinely have a friend who in the States, basically, because he said this, and it's hilarious. He's core right wing right now. And like 10, 15 years back, he was there, he was doing his LLM and everything. And he said that if you're, trying to hit on a girl or something, and if you're whatever, it's a like saying Indian was not getting him laid. So he used to say Pakistani because that would get him laid more. So yeah, so even when the stakes are much lesser, people happily shift it
No, it's
just
not
for their
much lesser. When
benefit.
you're 18 years old, those are very high stakes. See, again, I don't have a problem with any of this. I don't see this as a personal betrayal of any kind. This is whatever Machiavellian thinking. You end justifies the means, and that's what you get. Let's ask
Survival.
Navin.
whatever
Naveen
he
is the
can do
only
to
guy I'm
survive.
worried about.
As someone
Uh,
who's actually hooked up with someone
Lied.
from Pakistan,
Huh?
I think they're
It
beautiful
had to be
people.
one sex story, and it had to be this one. Go ahead.
I didn't say sex. I said hooked up. Hooked up means many different things. Like you can do work together, or you can like call each other, or
I have
just like go
never
to the
hooked up with a
Did
guy
you
and done
work?
business with
Did you
him.
work together or call each other?
मैंने
I mean, come on, man.
सिलवरी कभी तू hook up किया कोई
you know when
है
when
कोई
when, when
Are
Peter
we
Pan and
hooking up
Captain
right
were
now,
fighting,
guys? Are we hooking
yeah,
up?
they were
Are
hooking
four
up.
of us hooking up?
In Neverland, they were hooking
bro?
up, guys.
You were the man of the match of this podcast. People have taken to you and your sensitivity and all that, and now you're going on about what, man?
But I'm
I
just
hooked
saying,
up for
like,
work. Sorry,
Hitting it out of the
I
park. Eh?
yeah, I think you can.
the Pakistani you were saying.
Yeah, go with the
No,
Pakistan.
even
Yeah.
even then we had a lot of conversations about the fact that like why are we so at odds with each other as a country, and when like so many things are very similar in terms of not only the leaders but also the mindset and like how we are just like polar opposites of each other but also the same versions of each other almost in many ways. So I think if you want to in a war torn situation, like I remember that movie Lucky also. I don't you don't remember that the horrible movie
When in
Lucky which
trouble,
only I
always
watched.
Zayed
go to
Khan.
Lucky.
Zayed Khan.
Salman
Hey,
Khan, very
Naveen,
very
it's
good
not
discount
lucky.
Aishwarya.
It's lucky. No
No
time for
time for
love.
love.
It's
Yeah,
not just lucky.
which
Yeah.
is based in Russia actually. So it's like a war torn situation where she has to get away and she's a student and Salman Khan is helping her and all of that. So I found that story very cute, and I think. But my best friend who's actually from Russia, he studied over there for like MBBS and everything. He sing an entirely different tune. So what, like you are a brown person who's from Russia because he's not from Russia, but he studied there for 7 years.
Hmm.
So his allegiance is more towards their politics and everything. Like Putin is doing some great work. You should go and see ground reality so different and all of that. So I'm very confused as to like what do we say now, because as a brown person you don't want to see war happening in another country because tomorrow if it happens immediately India Pakistan is like let's go bro, like
Yeah.
that's the mindset, right? And we don't
No,
want that to
it's
happen
not
because
nothing to do with race and brown person or white person. I'm saying either you're like, war is just a ridiculous horror and you're completely
yeah,
opposed
but
to it. It
then
makes no
aren't we
sense.
witnessing like the even bigger horrors for black and brown people at the borders where they're not letting them pass? Like war has casualties even beyond like just tearing people apart from their families, right? Like
You're right.
white
No
people are
one is trying
passing
to.
through and hugging and everything, and we have like wow, now this a white woman met her white kid. Everybody's like heart warmed, but like a black kid is dying over there. Brown kid died in Ukraine. Like the giving of a fuck is very less. Again, the news
Yeah, but
media coverage, right? It's not a third world country like Syria. This is a white country, right? Like, that's the notions of like what war is
But
for
the
them and
idea
what
is
war
not
is for
to
us is
attack the
different.
poor white lady who escaped and her white child has a home.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah,
to
exactly.
stop the
No, no,
Attack the
racism at the
queen.
border.
yeah,
So I think we shouldn't take
no,
it out on that because they are just
yeah,
also
yeah.
innocent.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that's great that somebody who's survived the war and gotten out is great. But in that
Hmm.
whole gamut, like we are realizing that there's less humanity showed to people who are of different skin tones, right? And we're witnessing that in real time. And unless people spoke out about it for the last 3 days, there was no coverage about it, right? So when
Yeah.
Al Jazeera picks up, they're like, "Ha, it's happening." Otherwise, they'll be
But
like,
that's
we're letting people pass."
what we discussed in the pandemic, that majburi brings out the worst of human nature. Like border guards here taking money for transporting goods and stuff like that early in the pandemic. It happened. That's what
Yeah,
happens. Yeah, and we made all our money pretending to be, what are those ticket tout guys, mask collectors, all that. That's where the money was. Just
yeah.
picking on people who are suffering. I'm slightly for it. Yeah, people have two easy lives when you think about it. Shall we go
Slightly
to
for
the AMAs?
what?
Give them a story. Give
Yes,
them
please.
struggle.
All right. Let's get the AMAs. Please hit like firstly, guys, again. And also, please feel free to send us your AMAs via email as well. So we can always refer to those if you guys would like to do that. All right. The first AMA question comes in from Girish Patil. He says, so the NCB SIT confirmed that Aryan Khan did not have any drugs on him. Will our journos and NCB officials suffer the consequences? We already know the answer to that. They won't.
Technically, SIT is not out yet. It's like leaked information what the SIT will have. The SIT will be coming out in 2 months, but in any case, that's not
But the
like.
point here,
Yeah.
Abhijit, is clear. Do officials
I mean
ever
that,
get
but
any
that was
accountability?
known.
No, I know. I'm just saying, why can't we really have to do something about that? Because you take someone's life, sometimes reputation you destroy, you cause a lot of heartache to families. This is a very high-profile case, so everything is known. What about the unknowns? Exactly how Naveen is thinking about people trying to cross the border, different color. What about unknowns under trials across India who are just kept in for, I God knows how long
Yeah. There
against
are
the
people.
law?
There are people in Tihar for like 7 grams of hash. Okay, by the way, I'm just saying like
Yeah, that's true.
there's way more given to way less people. So like I think that's the and my partner and I that day we were walking around Bandra, right? And
From
we
which
were like,
country?
My partner from Ahmedabad who fell down in Gujarat.
American football guy. American football
Good check,
guy.
man. Turkey is there,
Yeah.
Pakistan is there, now Ahmedabad. Okay, yeah.
But I've hooked up with people from all these countries actually.
Wow.
But
Really? How many
but
countries? That's more interesting.
That's
Forget the
yeah.
lecture. Huh.
No
I've
wonder.
hooked up with like multiple ethnicities: German,
Silverie,
Australian.
Silverie, now
man.
say
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and subscribe. This is the
Yeah,
point.
Now
please
like
like,
and
share,
subscribe
subscribe, guys.
for
Subscribe.
more
Haven't even-
information on
Yeah.
my private life.
And send in
I've
your
been
aim
hooked up with
for
multiple
Naveen via
states,
mail.
man. Like, can you stop making us feel shitty about ourselves, Naveen?
I know.
Like,
I'm calling him
Yeah.
Benetton from today. Your name is Benetton, Naveen.
no
United
wonder
Colors.
they have the
Everyone.
flag. Cyrus,
Yeah.
like, no wonder. It's all different nations.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I have
He's
I have a lot of
pretty.
like conclusions
For a
also.
guy
Actually.
who's always got this angst and standing up there with his chest out and proud, he's had a pretty good life socially and sexually. All said and done. I don't know what he's complaining about. This
Yeah, because
odd
Misery
comment
loves
by some
company,
idiot.
so we all come together and we have sex.
No, and
Mr.
also, if I'm not wrong,
Worldwide, no pun
this
intended.
isn't that a gay people thing? Like gay people just get to have a lot more sex.
we do.
They
Just
do.
have better
It's a
sex.
true thing. Yeah.
Is
No,
that
that's
okay to
not,
say,
it's not,
Naveen?
it's not
Careful,
stereotype. It's
Silverie.
actually true. It's actually
Actually
true.
true. Yeah.
Third umpire is Abijit
Absolutely.
Ganguly. Huh?
dude, Antariksh was
Naveen
walking on
just said
eggshells
it's
till the time Naveen said we do.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah, he
thank God
realized
Naveen said
No,
we
man,
do.
that's not
Otherwise,
legit
something
this is a
question. Fair
podcast
question.
bimari
It's
where
no
you
fact.
say it and then you can't take it back. So he said it
Yeah.
and he couldn't take it back. It hung exactly
Yeah.
like you
No, it's
described.
true.
Thanks,
And then
Naveen.
luckily,
Absolutely.
yeah.
We have
Thanks
way
for
more
having a lot of
colorful
sex in your
lives.
life. You saved me.
single-handedly Naveen holds power over us.
Because
Whatever
it's,
you
it's, it's
say.
so much under wraps, right? So much the thrill of it is what really used to excite
Yeah.
me. When I was younger and not out, I'm like, ooh, we get to like go to an old building and like hook up. So like that kind of like the thrill of it is
This
what
hookup
really
is
You've
not
done that?
work.
You've
Is this
done that?
hookup
You go to
work?
like uninhabited buildings and all. And
yeah, fully.
It was a
I
project
thought you went to
call.
hook up. You hook up use kiya do teen baar abhi. I'm confused. So hook up is now what?
just
Hook up
having
is
sex.
like when you catch up with each other, But
What? Let's hook
don't
up
know.
at a coffee date.
the other
Like, catch
extreme
up.
is orgy. So I'm thinking of a better word in the middle that we can use.
Ganguly ji, I wish I was gay. Yaar. They seem to have much better life than us. My
You
life, I
wish
got
you
nothing
would.
to tell you.
Until you get
I
on a
mean,
podcast.
apart from the
somebody
society
talks about
ostracizing and the constant
Yeah,
ridicule
exactly.
and all
One
that.
or two
But
blows you have
yeah,
to take, yeah. Forget it, yeah. Come on, look at the life. He has lovers
One or
from
two
all
blows
across
for 4
Europe.
or 5 blowjobs. You know what I'm saying? That's the ratio.
it's
Okay.
it's
And
only
we have
slightly better than being Bengali, I guess. Yeah.
like and
Right.
subscribe to the channel. Silvery,
Yes,
you're
please
missing
like
your
and
cue
subscribe. Yes.
on the word blowjob. You should have been in.
Yes.
Boom.
Like subscribe. Okay.
The
Arpit
moment
Bansal
hookup
says.
word is mentioned, you just go
Yeah.
like,
Hookup
But
is
where
going
do
to
we
cause
start the question
controversy.
and where do we go? What was the
Yeah.
question, anyways?
It was.
Bruce Wayne
I
says horny
don't even
Naveen is
forget
back.
forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Something
took
about.
me half an hour.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. The next question comes in from Arpit Bansal. He says, Silverie is not wrong. I have jumped from first floor as well on a dare. Arpit Bansal says.
but which?
But
How
how
Okay,
old
old
were
were
fine.
you? How old were you?
Arpit, were you
That's the
5?
key
Exactly.
question.
Yeah. All right. And the
Because
next
for a
question is also similar.
5-year-old kid, that's
By the way, this was not even a question. It was just somebody proving his point, and he's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to bring it back.
Dude,
He's like,
I'm not
I have-
alone in this.
I have power over
There is
this.
a whole world of us out
there are a
there.
lot of people who have jumped from first floor, but I would assume they're doing it at least when they're stupid and teenage or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
or
I
trying to
mean,
prove a point or
yeah.
Because
something.
five
I
isn't
saw
the
I
license
saw a
doesn't
30-year-old
hold
man do
also.
it to impress a girl in my old office.
Yeah.
Like he was just, yeah.
Yeah.
Because at
And he was
5,
like,
Silvery,
yeah.
Yeah.
you have the lazy gene. At 5, you don't have the lazy gene. You think udhar se nahi jayega, idhar
I
se
mean,
jayega.
I
No,
did, yeah. Like,
that's
I don't
odd.
know what to say. I did it. That's just what happened. I don't remember my thought process at the time now.
And you jumped.
Yeah.
You're not even saying you fell down or something because that's an accident. That's
No, I
completely
jumped. I
believable.
jumped.
You've jumped.
Oh, I remember
That's literally
showing
like
a friend of mine.
hand.
grown man
saying,
jumping
Hey,
from
man,
3-4
hey, look at
floors.
look what I can do, and then jumped. I think
Look,
that's what
look,
it
I'm
was.
Shilpa Shetty from
Yeah, look at this.
Basigar.
Basigar.
You,
Yeah.
your friends was Shilpa Shetty and that's why you jumped. This
No,
story is
no.
getting really out of control.
That's what he took
No,
away
no.
from the entire.
There was a friend, I think, I loosely remember now, a friend.
Well,
named
Arpit is
12
12 years
years
old,
old,
by the
12
way.
years old. See, told you it can't be 5.
Okay.
Oh,
5 is
wow.
I mean,
Wait, read
what?
the whole thing. Read the comment,
There is no.
Silvery.
By
Read
the
it
way,
out.
this is
No,
the
this
only
is not
time my
time.
question is picked because Silverie wants to prove his point.
You
Dude,
know,
what are you
Silverie is
talking
like
about?
Arnab.
What are
Silverie is
you
like
talking
Arnab.
about, Arpit
He's-
Bansal? I have asked your
It's
question so
Arpit, it's
many
Arpit.
times.
Oh shit, you called him Arpat also. You're like,
What is
no,
it?
he'll never ask a question.
Yeah,
That
never.
Arpit
Arpit Bansal.
is a regular, for
Not
God's
Bansal,
sake.
Damn
it's
it.
Bansal, man. Listen, it's
All the
about
time.
Bansal.
Dude, I've asked this question
said
so many
Bansal?
times. What are you
Who said
talking about?
Bansal?
Antariksh said Bansal. Like, what is
Arpat
Bansal?
Bansal. He's like,
This Hawaiian
Man.
changed
Richard
it.
cancel.
Read-
Please hit
Oh,
like,
is
share,
it the jump?
subscribe.
The
guys.
jump has changed
Arpit,
it
you
completely.
better hit that like. Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Tarun Kaushik says, my mom tells me that when I was 1 year old, we lived on the first floor of a building. There was fire in an apartment with stairs blocked. So my dad tied me in a curtain and lowered me to the first floor.
Farid
Super
Bhai.
baby.
Bro, Bro,
Yeah.
bro,
Should
Tarun,
have
that's
thrown
an
you, man. You don't survive.
emergency situation where the father, thinking on his feet, decides to try and save his son. You take some chances in that situation. But what the hell was a 5-year-old in Powai doing jumping because he felt I don't want to go via this normal lift? But that just doesn't
He was
ring
saying
true.
we will start the
I
fire.
wasn't in Powai. We stayed
In
in
Delhi.
Delhi, and we had like
And that's how
a
they roll, bro.
house.
That's
Yeah,
how
man.
they roll,
Yeah,
Mr. Ganguly is
yeah.
right. You gotta
It's
fit
a
in.
Rollies training from the first standard only. They're like
That's
start
right.
jumping, go
Everybody's
crazy.
karunga, yes.
And today he's a
Challenge.
proud owner of 17 mountain bikes and 16
Yeah.
cars. Let's not let him get off on that. Yeah.
But
Follow.
again, there's a video of firemen like rescuing kids from a balcony, and somebody plays the video in reverse, so it looks like firemen are putting people in the fire back again. They're like, you go die, you go
That's
roast.
hilarious. That'd be
Yeah.
hilarious.
Maybe they should be allowed to do that once after 25 years of service.
Yeah, one kid.
दिल पे क्यों ले रहा है? Like, share.
Yeah, Antariksh, don't antagonize
Nice.
our only
मैं मजाक कर रहा
non-panel viewer. Like, yeah, apart
Wait,
from
I was in Delhi as
Kajol
well,
only.
says Arpit.
Of course he was.
Mm.
Very
Same
wow.
house,
the
same
whole-
house.
What were
Give me
we?
address. Give me the
Yeah.
address.
Are we the
Was he
same
the Shilpa
person?
Shetty that you followed?
Yeah, correct. That's it. You're right, sir.
Wait, these are two different stories. Now, Arpit Tarun was the one who said that we fell down at 12, and Arpit was the one lowered with
Lowered.
curtains or bed sheet.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
Tarun
yeah.
was the one
Why are you
lowered.
pointing it
Yeah.
out and making us
Arpit
look
was the one
stupid?
who
Mr.
jumped at
Ganguly,
12.
just let it
Yeah.
be. No one's paying attention. Least of all the panelists.
I just realized with one M to his
Dude,
name, it can be armpit.
Antariksh
Okay.
Next
has a
shades of
very
color.
defiance kind of face. He's not liking the fact that we are not believing his story. He's
No,
clearly
that's fine,
like,
man. It's
not
all good.
amused.
It's all good.
Yeah,
The next question
I believe you, man.
comes in from Shavik Bakchi. He says, Abhijit, being a Bengali, did you go to CR Park in Delhi? Tell your
Yeah,
experience.
of course.
What you did.
I mean, I used to live in Park also for a very small period of time. Then they shifted to, because in any case, any Bengali from Delhi, the first thing you'll hear is CR Park. CR Park. That is just a thing that you will always hear all your life. So CR Park.
What's the full
And
form?
they
What's the
have
full form?
Chitranjan Park. Chitranjan,
Oh,
like
nice.
the freedom fighter and everything named after that person. And
Mm.
so, yeah, but it has amazing Bengal, like mutton chops and all, which are very cheap also. But then a lot of Punjabis
Wow.
also start taking houses there, so that increase the prices. But
Are
yeah,
you
Yeah.
bitter
it
about
was-
that?
Punjabis, man.
of course, old resentment. Like, yeah, I actually did a bit also about how, like, long back only, but how Durga Puja was special for us Bengalis because also everything, but there was very lot of cheap non-vegetarian food. And then Punjabi started coming there, and that just completely upset the whole thing because it raised the market prices. And now you're like, pretty
This is what happened to
120 rupees
Ganpati
for a
in
mutton
Mumbai,
chop.
especially in South
Yeah.
Mumbai, where now to
Yeah.
find a Maharashtrian with a Ganesh idol is like almost like rare. You know, like
Yeah,
wow.
we have
taking a
Ganpati at our
selfie.
house also. Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
people
There you
have to
go.
buy
There are no
tickets for bundles
Maharashtrians
and
left
all.
in South Mumbai
Yeah.
with the idols. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Nobody's festival is their own. It just gets taken by the others. Anyway,
Yeah.
do we have any
Next one comes
PC?
from
I just think that I might start a war here, but the Kolkata biryani is the best biryani in this country. I just feel
Because of the
it's-
aloo?
No,
Because of
Moradabadi.
the-
it's a
Moradabadi.
good biryani. It's a good biryani.
See, I'm starting a
sure.
war already on this panel.
Not war,
other
but I
biryani.
would like I mean Kolkata biryani is nice because the aloo and all that, but dude, Moradabadi biryani is genuinely legit.
You're
one of
just
the best
showing off now,
ones,
Abhijit, because you know all three of us don't know what the hell that is.
Muradabad.
sir. You guys have never had Moradabadi
Of course
I
biryani.
know,
not. The way you said it, you knew it. This is very
Yeah,
Bengali
I
touch,
think
the
I
way you said it.
peaked at the Kolkata one only. Yeah.
Everybody
Because
in Delhi has
Nowadays
had.
biryani
That's
is
why
good.
I was just assuming.
Hyderabad is also good only.
Yeah,
I'll
we
go
are
this
in
time around.
Hyderabad, Lucknow, and Bengali.
Yeah.
There's got to be
Yeah.
wanted more. So tell us about the biryani, Mr. Ganguly, sir.
No,
उसमें
but
क्या
Naveen was
खास
saying
है?
first. I'll let him.
No, I
Is there a
think no.
Parsi equivalent for biryani? Like
Pulaus,
biryani,
all
like
the pulaus are very close. Some of them.
Oh,
Very
pulao
very
biryani,
pulao
huh?
is bloody
Yeah.
fantastic, dude.
Oh,
I like
wow.
the very pulao.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's close, but not. I like
Yeah.
masala in the biryani. So I
But
like
you guys
the
always
chapati.
like some days we would like a very pulao
Non-veg.
over anything else. Then some days you feel like having just that Hyderabadi biryani. So it's a thing
Oh, now
also.
I'm
No?
feeling
Like,
hungry and it's only 10:58. Please stop it.
Yeah, I remember in the
biryani
old
is
office when I
good.
used to produce, we'd get like when Cyrus goes in the second interview, we get the keema pav and keep it ready in the
Yeah,
dining
correct.
area, and then by the time we'd come out, we'd all be like gorging on keema pav, and that was opposite Rajasthan, so we like have a great time.
Yeah, correct. I
Not
just
the
remember we had a
state.
call for kebabs for Cyrus and we forgot to do that
Yeah.
today.
Not the state. I'm in
just
Bangalore.
one thing
and there
about
are
biryanis, I will say. Yeah, sorry, finish first.
No, Hamisha's Hazar biryanis available here. Yeah, the south is
In
filled with
Bangalore, yeah.
biryanis. People don't know that.
No, Bangalore is amazing. All the bhima and everything. In fact, it's hilarious. I've had more of Andhra food in Bangalore than
In Bangalore, yeah.
than
Oh, shit.
Hyderabad and every
Man,
place else.
Nagarjuna
So,
is my like
yeah,
go-to
Nagarjuna,
place.
Bhima,
Udupi
everything.
food in Mumbai than in Udupi. These
Yeah,
things
that's true.
happen.
Because everybody, all the
But-
Shetties are here only, no?
Then
The basic thing about biryani is, and I just like to spread this out also. Like the first thing you should check is that no biryani, and I should have rose water, because that is what they use. The first thing they use to cover the smell of bad like Purana biryani. So
1 second.
Alexa
Should
just
have or
thought I was
shouldn't have?
talking to her.
Should
Should
not
have?
have, because
It should
Oh,
never
I'm
have.
asking. I'm asking it.
your wife thought you were talking to her.
No, Alexa thought.
Oh, Alex.
She suddenly
Kumar
started
Gaurav?
speaking and everything.
I don't know. You
Yeah.
remember the famous actor launched in the 80s, Kumar Gaurav? He
Kumar
sells the
Gaurav.
Moradabad biryani a lot in Delhi. They sell it by weighing it. Absolutely amazing. So obviously, I have to get my hands on Moradabadi biryani now. Silverie,
Muradabadi biryani is brilliant, but
Yeah, wow,
any
really.
biryani, the moment it
next
has
Tuesday,
gulab jal, it is
Moradabadi
bad. It
biryani,
is like
please.
never go for it. Yeah.
Place the
Yeah.
order.
Okay.
Huh?
Yes, we'll do. We'll call for it. Yes, exactly.
All right.
Waiting for Silverie to bring up paneer.
To bring up paneer.
Do you guys like paneer?
Please stop.
I'm
Please
okay.
hit like, guys.
Next question.
All right. Next one comes in from Harvesh Pakasad. He says, "Hello all. Virat playing his 100th Test match tomorrow, which has been Virat's standout Test innings. For me, his second innings 100 of his 10 centuries in his first Test as captain was his best."
That's a tough
Like,
one.
this seems
is
like
standout.
a different era question, by the way. I don't even
Yeah.
remember Virat
I don't
Kohli's
know. I just
centuries
asked the question
anymore,
because it was
so-
there, man.
The way you
No,
went
no,
through
I'm
the
not.
question,
This is not on
Yeah.
you. This is like.
Oh,
Yeah,
Silverie
I-
took 15
I-
minutes. It was a
I
very
don't know
painful
cricket, but
question for
I
him.
saw Cyrus get confused. He knows cricket. He got confused.
No, the way he said it with so lack of passion,
Yeah.
Virat's playing 100 Test match tomorrow.
Uh,
Yeah, let's
hey
let
guys,
Abhijit
Virat is
answer.
playing his 100th Test match tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow. This
Yeah.
has been
Chan-
Virat's
channel.
standout Test innings for you guys. For me, this
And then you're
his
super
second
excited.
innings,
That second
100 of
innings,
his
100 of
fifth
the
century
century in each
is
innings.
his
huh?
first Test as captain.
Correct,
And
correct.
yeah,
That's
what do you guys
amazing.
think?
It's a tongue twister.
So
also.
what has been
Well,
your
he's been
best
2 years plus
Virat
without a
Kohli
Test century or any century in all
Any
forms. So,
century.
which for his level is just
71st.
ridiculous.
we've been-
So let's see Mohali. Maybe
What a
good
loser.
luck. Who knows?
He had a baby, guys.
Poor-
Come on. He had to produce a child. Like,
Poor
he
Sri
makes
Lankan attack.
efforts.
What?
Abhijit, any
Yeah.
favorite innings that stands out? I mean, 2700,
I mean, it's been
2600.
so many of them, but honestly, I just hope he gets his 71st and we can just stop talking about it, man. It's been like too much talking. Like now we have even like all the like banter is what
No,
we
and-
live
and
for
you
as a
know,
sports fan. So
Abhijit, I don't know if you're following some of the journalists writing in the papers and on the online things. Things like, unnecessary things like watching them practice and Virat is only talking to
Yeah.
Ravindra Jadeja and keeps to himself. It's a little unnecessary, maybe even true, but just a little unnecessary. They're more interested in the gossip now than the cricket. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's just
Yeah.
given up the captaincy. He doesn't have to be running around patting
but
everybody's
Virat,
back.
to be honest, right now seems much happier after giving all the captaincy. It is like he's seeming more relaxed. He's dancing on field and everything.
Correct.
Rohit seems
And he
happy.
was as
Everybody seems
aggressive.
happier only with
He was
the.
aggressive, shouting and screaming for catches and this and that. I didn't think there was any change. Did you?
What did he say?
In
Body
terms of
language is
aggression.
still upbeat and aggressive while fielding. He didn't appear to be like, I'm now not really taking part. But that's
No,
what
no,
some
he
of the
was-
journalists write.
He was very
Yeah.
much there. He was a part of some DRS appeal also that
The
they.
two they
gave,
got
so
wrong.
he's-
Yeah, the two they got wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Some
But
things
that's
never
it.
change.
Exactly.
But I think but Abhijit is saying is absolutely right. Every captain who's taken the captaincy, they get like, again, as I was saying last time, like Dhoni become like old in no time, and everybody, Rohit
Yeah.
Sharma, everybody becomes just
Yeah.
like advances in age, and they get more stressed out because 1.2 billion ka expectations you're carrying, you're going to have that kind of pressure, and then you leave that. Like Tendulkar also, when he was the captain, he was so stressed out, came back happiest man alive, doing the best
Dude,
is life,
best,
right?
yeah, he
So
did
I
really
think
What
well.
happens is
everybody should
football
look up to him.
managers also, they age
Yeah.
like bloody 10 years in
Aggravates it, yeah.
6 months suddenly. So yeah, captaincy. and all that.
American presidents.
By the
Remember
way,
Obama
Chelsea,
when he
Obama,
left?
yeah.
Yeah.
Abramovich is going to sell the club.
Trump was no
Mr.
different.
Ganguly, to get out
What?
of this whole mess.
I
Rohan
mean, yes,
Abramovich.
clearly. I mean, it will be. I don't know. In property terms, you can call it a distress sale. So because yeah, he's trying to get out of it, and I mean, I don't think he'll get the valuation for it because football
pretty-
clubs is not a profitable entity mostly,
But
unless
pretty
you're
noble,
Liverpool
you
and
would
you.
say? What's the right word? Pretty noble
What?
of him. He's a very close friend of, confidant of
No,
Putin
how
in
is
the
it
old
noble?
days.
Sanction lag jayenge, uski vaat lag jayegi, so he's being
But he's,
forced his hand.
instead of fighting that and trying to figure out his life, which he would have done if he was a different type of personality, he's gracefully saying, okay, look, the blood on the hands of Russian. Well,
But you don't
whatever you
know,
want to call him.
for all you know, he might be wanting a way out also because end of the day, no running a
So
football
what's the
club
way-
isn't a profit. Huh?
What will be the way out if he relinquishes the club? What is the
No,
way
that's
out?
what I'm saying. Maybe he was looking for a way out in any case also. Like the
Oh.
whole, like in
So
any
it's an
case, it's,
opportunity.
yeah. I mean, a businessman is going to be
तू
working
तो बहुत
just
cynical
purely
है
on
भाई.
profit basis.
वो हाथ इंजरी के
Yeah.
बाद you've changed. I feel you're very cynical today. Yeah.
Yeah,
His
I
whole
mean,
view
come
on
on, he's
football has
a
changed.
Russian
Yeah.
oligarch here. He's not going to be like He's like they are not very emotional, heartfelt decisions. These are all practicality, all Excel sheet pe worked out decisions hai ye. Word pe nahi hai. So yeah.
Feral Minds Abhijit tripped after hearing about Roman Abramovich leaving Chelsea.
And
Chalo,
also it's a very sensitive point for me because like it's the direct opposite of Liverpool ki paisa nahi hai, किसी को नहीं खरीद सकते, पैसा नहीं, पहले 5 बेचते हैं, फिर एक खरीदेंगे. So and just so yeah, I'm just देखते हैं जो हो रहा है Chelsea. अगर I hope like some poor fellow buys Chelsea and they don't buy rich players anymore ever
too
again.
much
So,
money
yeah,
can
I'd
kill
be-
you. So you're the opposite of Mumbai Indians in the sense that the money alone is not enough. You need more than that. Okay. Shall we take one more fast?
Yes, sure. This last one comes in.
Silverie can buy
from
Chelsea.
Kamal
Akshay
Khedi.
cases. Just
Totally,
that's
man.
only 50%
And
tongue
like-
in cheek. Huh?
I've already secretly bought it. You don't know about it. Yeah.
Huh.
And yeah, I'm gonna make them lose now. Just because I
or
can.
make them
Alright.
jump from the first floor.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can totally do that. Yeah.
Chelsea fans
Kamal
get really
Khedi.
angry sometimes when you say Chelsea shit to them. Like I'm like, it's okay, man. Like, why
No,
you get so angry?
No, you.
I'm just saying.
No.
It's all
No.
the name jokes
Why?
are so funny,
I
yaar.
mean,
Ye
yeah.
No, you can do
Manchester,
that.
Liverpool,
But then
yeah.
somebody is sensitive about his football club. Dude, how you
I mean,
decide what hurts
But
the
of course,
guy?
you're allowed to make fun of
I
football.
never
I'm
got
more
that.
touchy about cricket
Football
than I am
banter
about my
is
religion.
allowed, yaar.
You
Come
say
on, Cyrus,
Pakistan, this,
that
that
Yeah.
doesn't bother me much. But you say things about cricketers, and after some time, it touches the chord. I'm saying,
This is
who's to
exactly how I
decide?
feel about gay jokes, Cyrus. This is exactly how I feel.
Exactly.
Now you know.
Exactly.
You
So
tap
you're
into
saying
it.
Chelsea shit
Exactly.
now. Bro,
But it's not the
I
same,
didn't say
Cyrus.
anything.
It
Why
is
are you
who's to
equating?
decide? Who's to
Why are you trying
decide
to
where your
equate
level
this?
of sensitivity is? Everyone is different. We're raised
Got it
differently
now.
also.
I understood now. I'm sorry.
Like many,
I
I think
understood my
all four of
mistake.
us don't care too much
Yes.
about religion.
Navin
so it
admits
doesn't
he
really
was
affect
wrong the
us.
entire time.
Smash that like button, guys. Smash
Smash
that
And
that
also,
like button.
if you have a joke about alternate sexuality, run it past Naveen and we will tell you yes or no. Let's just get this
Yes.
out of our system now. Never
Run
again.
it through
Huh.
me. Yeah.
Alright. The
But
last
Chelsea
question comes
shit,
in.
Mr. Ganguly will throw his chappal from there if his hand
I
is
didn't
open.
say
I
anything
won't
about
care Chelsea पे बोलो जो बोलना है, but हाँ बोलो ना, must बोलो
Wow.
Chelsea.
Oof.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Liverpool
last
में
one.
मत बोलो.
Last
question.
one comes in from Kamal Sethi. He says, "How many of you plan to watch the Batman in cinemas, or will
want
you
to.
go? Will you go this week, or will you wait for it to come to OTT?"
I ain't
I was really
watching
excited.
Batman.
I'm
I went to book my show. Tickets are at 500 rupees.
What the hell, dude? They
think
know.
only Bruce Wayne can go and watch these
They
movies,
know.
man. At this point,
Yeah.
like I,
And me.
I spent 600 rupees on No Way Home. Okay, the biggest Marvel movie for the past 12 years. I spent 200 rupees on each ticket and with taxes, whatever.
Yeah.
But Batman, who do I think? they think, like, I'm not an orphan kid who has a lot of money suddenly. No, I don't. I just need to watch a normal movie at a normal price.
Yeah, you're not an
I'm
orphan.
not an orphan kid.
I
with
am
a lot of money.
And for me,
No
firstly,
Guardians also, I can spend it the way I want. Batman's a happy
Yeah.
story. Like, his parents can't
Bruce,
control
where are you? Yeah.
how much he's spending. Yeah.
no, and they're cheating us because there's no Robin in the Batman anymore. So, I mean, it's only like 50%
So they're robbing
of the
us.
whole game.
That's what they're
Yeah,
doing.
Yeah,
They're robbing
literally.
us.
Yeah. Put a
But
stop
I think
to it
actually
now.
the
One-time
movie's
fun
going to be
joke.
good. The movie looks really good. I think.
Yeah, it's
But
3
it's
hours
so
long
weird
though.
to
So if you're
see
going
Batman right now because now after getting used to Ben Affleck's like 3/4 of chin coming out of that mask,
Yeah.
suddenly it's like, "Arey, jabda kahan gaya? Dikh hi nahi raha
he
jabda."
looks like Quagmire in the
Yeah.
fucking mask, right?
So apparently he's in the Batman suit like more than 3/4 of the movie. You know, like the Bruce Wayne part is very less. The Batman part is way
About
more.
time.
Because he can't-
I feel there was too much Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
and too many
Bruce
Batman.
That is
Wayne,
true.
yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Too much
Yeah.
Bruce
Waiting
Wayne.
for
No,
the
no.
Batman to
We
happen.
need our Bruce Wayne, Cyrus. We need our Bruce Wayne.
We have our Bruce Wayne.
That's what I'm
That
saying.
Bruce
We need
Wayne,
him.
I'm saying.
So,
Huh.
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that's
so you have to
good.
wait till like
That's right.
Friday to get the tickets at like cheaper, right?
Yeah.
Right now, all the
Hey, Bruce Wayne,
pre-bookings.
can you get us tickets?
Yeah, man. What the
Man,
fuck?
what the hell? It's your movie, man. What are you doing?
Help a brother out.
Yeah, dude.
We can watch it in the Batmobile.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne,
Wait,
can you get a
get it, yeah.
Batmobile
Yeah.
to Bombay, India? Get a car outside our office and we'll have a good ride.
Like a Batmobile driving right past Ukraine.
Princeton Saldana is not
Coming
letting you
to
off the hook.
to make a
Which
scene
car will
movie.
Silverie take to watch Batman? Now we talk about Batmobile. Now answer the question.
The
Which car will-
Batmobile, yes. I will take Bruce Wayne's Batmobile and it'll be fun. No,
And
no.
he'll
Realistically, I will
make his
take.
Chelsea team with
Will you
his
take your
Chelsea team
BMW?
waving him off.
Will be taking your
Yeah, yeah.
BMW? Will
No,
you
no.
take
I will
your
buy a
Merc?
new car just to go watch the Batman.
But
And,
don't
then
buy a
cover it.
balcony seat.
But you crib about the ticket.
Jump
I
from
might
there
You
fall.
crib
also.
about the ticket.
I
You
might
take the
trip.
new car and then you crib about the ticket. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Naveen, you shouldn't climb stairs anymore. Sure.
I should stop walking
Yeah.
altogether.
So
Alright.
Naveen is watching in stalls and you're watching in installments at the moment. I will get a free ticket. I've already decided
For
how.
that beautiful pun. Yeah.
Punch, yes, go on.
All right, please like, share, subscribe, guys, and thank you so much.
Guess which
Now
one of
this,
us.
now your like, share, subscribe is sounding like a pa pa pa. Like every time when somebody's cracking some
Like,
joke.
share,
Hey,
subscribe.
can we end on a happy, really happy note? Naveen,
Yes,
can you
please.
show the foot again on the shoulder
Wait,
so people
it's
know
become
it's
a
not a
little.
trick?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, man.
You know,
this
it
is
looks
very
like
flexible, Naveen.
I'm tapping
This
my
is
just because you
amazing.
see like only that much of the foot, it looks like you're not wearing anything
I
from
can
the
do the other
bottom
leg
down.
also, by the way. If anybody is doubting,
Oh
कि I
my
won't
God,
do
look at that guy.
Oh,
Dude, I think
wanna
there's somebody
hire you for
lying
cocktail
down
party.
niche जिसके पैर उठा रहा है.
Pushing
Like
it.
there's somebody is just
Should I,
lying
should I
down.
take the
Hey,
camera
Shivu.
downstairs?
No, no, don't take the camera downstairs. This is good enough.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
fabulous. All right,
Wow.
guys. I have to find my way to the suburbs where you live. Bye bye.
All
I have
right,
to go to
bye. See you
Nanavati to a
guys.
doctor. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.